Welcome, everyone, to the Selling Online Show. This is where we talk about anything having to do with selling online, whether it's e-commerce, internet marketing, affiliate marketing, paid advertising online, anything to do with selling on the internet, and including merch by Amazon, which is what we're talking about here tonight. So welcome, everyone. I would love to hear where you're all from. If you want to just chat, post a little chat, tell us where you're calling in from or where you're watching from. And then also, we'd love to hear your questions, because this is really an open Q&A forum today where we're going to have Daniel answering some of your questions about merch by Amazon. Let me tell you, if you're experiencing it, he's experienced it. He knows all about it. So, and you've got somebody how many shirts are you at right now, Daniel?
Just about to cross 3,700, but I have about 1,400 more, and that's I have in my possession, but have yet to be posted.
3,700. I could use about 500 of those.
Yeah. Well, I know a guy.
I'll pay you double whatever you paid for them.
That'd be a nice arrangement. Yeah.
Yeah, it would be a nice arrangement for me. You've already done all the heavy work of the research and everything. Yeah. I don't know if there's an amount I could pay you for those that would be worth it, because that's the cool thing about merch, is that you're setting up income streams for who knows how long. I mean, it could be forever, conceivably. It could be for, you never know. I mean, it's an ongoing residual income that keeps coming in. So that's what's very cool about it. So we have Becky from the North Dallas suburbs. That's awesome. Welcome, Becky. Anybody else, just tell us where you're from. And also, we're here to answer your questions. So let's start. Let's get started. Go ahead and post some questions. And do you have any kind of an update while we're waiting for some questions on things that are happening with merch? I know, like, just this week, right, they released a lot more designs into search, which is, you're probably seeing some exciting results from that.
Yeah, I'm finally seeing. I noted last week about how July had been slow, and how it felt like July was about. I had talked about my percentages, and I'd said how I was running, or how I thought 15 to 20% was good prior to last month, and how last month was slower. But then they announced this week that they basically took the handcuffs off and started showing all of the shirts in the search results and on Amazon. And every day since then, my percentage has went up 1%. And
nice.
So by the end of the day, so I see that it may not have actually been a July issue. It may have just been the fact that they were artificially slowing down my sales, because I know some people had higher sales rates. So it was nice to see that it wasn't a fault of my own, but they might have had the handcuffs tighter on me than they did some others. It may have had something to do with how many shirts I have up.
Yeah, that's interesting. It's just a matter of math, and how the math worked out, that because you had a larger number of shirts, maybe you had a larger number that didn't get shown during that period of time. So for those who are wondering what that is, what we're talking about is Amazon throttled back showing all the shirts in their search engine. They started for about a month, right? Approximately about a month or two.
A little over 2, if I'm not mistaken.
More than 2 months. They basically stopped showing 100% of the shirts. And I'm assuming what they did was they just showed the shirts that were selling. But who knows? Because, their goal was to try to meet capacity, and they're kind of falling behind with this massive influx of people who are, coming into merch and bringing a lot of shirt designs up. So it's possible that they throttled back, maybe across the board. Who knows? We don't know what their reasoning was, or what their algorithm was to determine which shirts got throttled back. But what that did was it caused a slowdown in sales for most of us, and especially for bigger sellers like Daniel, he could really feel it. So how much of a downturn do you think it was? Do you have a sense?
Well, I know that my account was, previous to them announcing the slowdown, I was at 22%. And like I said, I'm going to have to just go with percentages because my number of shirts has increased since. Right. I was at 22%. But as of the day before they announced they was taking what I'm calling taking the handcuffs off, I was at around 10.5%. So it was probably more than a 50% decrease. And
Wow.
like I said, now by the end of the day, today I'm expecting to be at around 13, 14. So like I said, it's climbing back up, and I still think that it's going to be slower this time of year than it would have been back 2.5 months ago or so. But I'm only expecting an increase from here on out. So
Yeah, yeah, awesome. Well, we should be careful when we say take the handcuffs off because somebody might be tuning in
yeah.
at the wrong time. All right. Well, welcome everyone. We see that B. Williams is from Phoenix, waiting on their merch approval, and he's in Handmade and FBA, a few private label lines. Can't seem to get invited to merch. Yeah, it takes time. We don't know if or when they might just completely open the floodgates, but we do know that people are getting approved on a consistent basis. But it seems like it comes in waves. It seems like people, get approved all at one shot, and then they wait a while, and then they get approved again. It's just strange. There's no way to know when people are getting approved. So that's a little tricky right there.
And
And then
it would be a good idea to go try to log in. I'm not sure if you've tried that recently, but I know that a lot of times they won't send you a letter. You'll just have to go log in and see if your account's there. So that might be worth trying.
yeah, it's such a new program, and like I said last week, I feel like they got caught off guard. They didn't realize how big of a program it would be and how much demand there would be for people jumping onto this program. So I think that's what it is. They're just trying to deal with the mass of people who are coming in, and they're trying to throttle, search. They're trying to throttle approvals and all this stuff. And but it's just a matter of time. They'll get their stuff together, and they'll be able to figure it out and start getting people approved. So we have Marcia from last week saying, thanks for doing this third webinar. You're welcome, Marcia. It's our pleasure. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it definitely is.